How are you doing, pharmacy staff? So, as you can tell, the reason that we're doing these videos and so that we stay consistent with the message and that you hear the same thing while also practicing social distance and allowing you to see things virtually when possible. So, this is our safety and emergency plan procedures for the remainder of this school year. And I want to go through it. So, the COVID protocols for drills is that we will conduct the drills this year following COVID protocols. While the earthquake analysis drill can be conducted in your school wide, like all at the same time or what have you, we will share a schedule of implementation for the severe weather and the fire drills to practice social distancing. For this reason, we have to make sure that we can't just say, okay, the entire school, let's go because of social distancing. It's still too many people to go 6 feet apart or what have you in a fire drill and a severe weather drill where we're clear the top floor and cover our heads or what have you. But we have to do it like in segments. So not even doing the entire sixth grade wing or just the seventh grade or what have you. So we'll have to do it even more strategic on this class, this class, this class, and this class. Let's go ahead and do these two drills back to back and get it over with. And then this class, this class, this class, do it again. Well, kind of the harder thing about that is um, that the schedule based on what we do on Monday or Tuesday or what hour we come from, that's what we have to do on the B days for Thursday and Friday. So we'll be strategic in that as well. But please know that in any instance, if if there were an actual emergency, social distancing rules are out of the window. We do not follow that. The priority is to evacuate and take cover as safely and orderly as possible. And so protocols for drills. I talked about this earlier this year, just making sure we're all on the same page. We need to start fresh and start making sure that we do the same thing consistently every time. All drills are expected to be conducted silently, and we will enforce that class by class, person by person, room by room, until we can ensure that we can get that so that every time we do it, we'll get that. It is very important that the entire building remain silent for the drills for everyone's safety. If directions have changed, then you need to have clear expectations or clear communications for everyone to remain safe. Review the lesson plans and practice or walk through the drills as necessary for proper implementation for the drills. Also note, what you do in practice will be what you do in a real incident. Therefore, as close to reality and practice during every drill, adults will need to be expected to follow the guidelines as well. All right, let's be real. Do I want you to get down and hunker down on severe weather, on your knees against the wall, what have you? No, but you better believe that I really want you to make sure that you evacuate that building if it's a fire drill. I'm asking that you do evacuate that building, even if it is your planning period. So just be mindful of that, okay? We do ask for safety purposes that identification badges are worn at all times. Please use those and have them around your neck or have it visible at all times. If you were in need of one, Mr. Bob had those available, and he will continue to make that available. Please reach out to David Bob. That's BOBB for those who have not met him yet. Thank you so much. Students outside of the building and in the hallways. No student is ever to be outside of the building unsupervised. For that reason, please do not allow students to get your key or give them your key to run to your car or throw away recycling or what have you. They are not supposed to be unsupervised on their own or what have you. Do not leave students unsupervised in your room at any time. And I do understand with how the structure is, where we're going across the hall, whatever, there are plenty of adults that will be in every hallway that will help you and allow to watch over a couple rooms at a time by standing in the hallway while you move over here and there. And we know a quick switch is no big deal. But do not let students outside of your room unsupervised or in the hallway or the stairwell like, oh, go on out there and do this. Please, and please understand that we still have that structure that there'll be a behavior coach, admin, what have you, in the hallway the entire time. We have our rolling carts and we're ready to go. No students are allowed to be in the hallways before 8 o'clock or after 2 o'clock. So keep that in mind. So on their way to class, get settled in their class so that we can get the day started. And by 2 o'clock, let's get everything situated so that we can get ready for dismissal, unless it's an absolute emergency. No student should be out of the classroom after the first 15 or the last 15 of every period. We're almost into the whole period of what have you. But if the students are out of your class during the time, they will be returned, and we'll follow up with that. Okay. Security posters in your room. This is an example of the security posters that are in your room. The emergency procedures and the phone numbers are there. The emergency procedures and the shelter in place map, the evacuation map, and the fire procedures. Whatever classroom you do attend or that you are in, make yourself aware of where you go. You could, because the teachers are rotating from class to class instead of the students rotating, you need to know what the expectation is for each one of the rooms that you are supervising. So you could be on one of those wings or one of those classes that's where the split is. From these two rooms over, they go to the left versus the next two rooms over, they go to the right. So please make sure that you're aware, and it's okay that at the time of evacuation, if you're not sure, you take a second to take a look at that, and let's go to your designated spot. Also, new safety packets. Please place the new safety packets in the folders by your door. Place last year's safety packets in the burn box in the library or front office. Do not place those in a recycle bin, please. Make sure that an up-to-date roster and safety packet every 6 weeks. So actually, we just have to do that one time for the remainder of the year, okay? Just have that available for the remainder of the year. Thank you. Make sure that the green and red placards, the safety packet as well. If you are missing anything at any time, please let Mr. Bob know, and he will get that to you. You need to have a safety posters and packets done by Thursday the 25th. That is today, Thursday the 25th. So please make sure that is done by today. This is an example of the security levels, and we'll go over that and what that really means. This is the district security levels in a very colorful display. So what that means, security level 1, there's a lot of movement, a lot of people entering and exiting the building at one time. It's an increased number of visitors. The doors are not related to the activity, are locked. So on this particular wing, no one's really over there. So those pretty much remain locked. But some doors are unmonitored. Unmonitored doors are locked and closed. Control access to unused parts of the school. Such examples are like open house or evening performances or what have you, where if we kept the doors locked, that bell would be ringing off the chain. So instead, you open up, and there's usually someone outside, generally monitoring or welcoming people in for open house or performance or what have you. And so that being said, that's security level 1. Now, what we normally operate on is security level 2, business as usual. The exterior doors are locked unless they're being monitored by staff. Vacant rooms and doors are locked and closed. Classroom doors locked and open. Classroom doors are locked and open. So, wait a minute. Let's make sure we're clear on that. Whenever you are teaching, the expectation is that your doors are locked and shut while you're teaching. It builds an extra protection for you moving forward, just to make sure that you are safe and secure. And if we do need to immediately do a drill or what have you, unsuspectingly, you never know, that we are ready to go from there. Okay. So the security level 3, possible threat identified by the building personnel or area. Possible. Okay. There's no outside activities. The exterior doors are locked and under staff control. Vacant rooms are locked and closed. Classroom doors are locked and closed. Movement is minimized and monitored at all times. Students are supervised by staff and checked for unauthorized visitors. Visitors must show ID and wear visitor's badge. Limit visitor access. Hallway and traffic is minimized and monitored. Something along the lines is a threat in the general area, possible threat in the area, such as, like, let's say somebody said, something happened up the street, we need to be aware or what have you. It could be in your area, and so you follow through with that. Even if it's someone had robbed a bank in the area and they think they're near, well, that's where we go to security level 3. Security level 4, imminent danger to building or personnel, security access, movement, exterior doors are locked and visitors must be approved by administration. Interior doors are locked and closed, no outside access. Students are in the room supervised by teachers, limited to no movement in the building. Any movement is with escorted monitor. Necessary visitors must show ID and are escorted everywhere in the building. Exterior windows are shut off, locked, and shades drawn. External threat to staff members inside the building is an example, or if they were shooting in the area. So if something happened in the area, up the street, around the corner, or what have you, but in the vicinity of Farnsley Middle School, and we were made aware of it by the police by calling in or what have you, then they would tell us to go on a security level 4, and this is what we would need to do based on those restrictions. Just trying to make sure that nothing happened to our students or our staff during the time that we were still in the building, moving forward with the excess activity that's going on outside of the building. It could bleed over to our campus or what have you, just trying to make sure things are safe. Let's say there is a suspected weapon in your room, for instance. I know we have one more security level to go through, but let's say there is a weapon in your room. If you overhear or are told that a student may have a gun or a weapon, the following protocols must be followed. Discreetly dial 0 while keeping an eye on the student and explain the situation. You're pretty much keeping an eye on a student so that you know that any sudden movements or what have you. But keep the student in the room with you and don't tab them out to another room. Assistance will come immediately. Keep cool and continue with instruction. If the students are in transition, please follow the following protocol. Verbally ask a student to join you in the nearest classroom or office. If the room has students in them, ask them to step out. Discreetly dial 0 and explain the situation to the office, and be sure to be specific about what is going on. The office will initiate protocol, and administration and security will conduct any and all searches. You always have to have another person present to search, but please understand this: teachers or other staff do not have permission to search. It has to be an administrator or security guard that has reasonable suspicion in order to search. Okay, so let's talk about security level 5. If there is a life-threatening situation in progress, normal operations cease. Crisis response mode. Exterior and interior doors and windows locked, closed, and covered. Students are brought into secure locations with all doors and windows locked and closed. You account for all students, secure all students in the room, remain calm and quiet, no entry or exit to the building until further notice. All staff is locked down as well. Unfortunately, we did have an incident in JCPS the other day where someone was outside trying to get into the building, and they did have a loaded weapon with them, and they were threatening to use it and to even ram their vehicle into the side of the cafeteria to gain access. And so this is a prime example of what a security level 5 would be if that were to happen. And so just so that you're aware, we hope that none of this ever happens, but instead of hoping that it doesn't, we prepare ourselves for if it does. What do? Some years ago, we implemented ALICE for lockdown procedures. It is called ALICE, okay, Training Institute, and we talked about what ALICE means. Which is an acronym, okay? A, alert. Initial alert may be a gunshot, the PA announcements, or what have you, but avoid code words. We do not do code words on ALICE drills. If a gun person is in the building with a weapon and meaning to cause harm, we don't need to hide words from him or her. We need to move forward and say everybody needs to know that there is a person with a gun in the building to cause harm. Let's be plain and simple exactly what it is. Lockdown. If evacuation is not a safe option, barricade entry points prepare to evacuate or counter if needed. I, inform, communicate real-time information on the school shooter. Use clear and direct language using any communication means possible. C, counter as a last resort. Distract the shooter's ability to shoot accurately, move toward exits while making noise, throwing objects, or adults swarm the shooter. Okay, evacuate. Again, I'll go back to that, but if as you feel comfortable, what have you evacuate? Run from danger when safe to do so, using non-traditional exits if necessary. And rally points should be predetermined. Okay. So moving from there, let's say there is an active shooter, a level 5, okay? Alert upon hearing or gaining knowledge that there is an active shooter in the area. Contact the main office by dialing 0 and give as much information about the active shooting, the location, how long ago it happened. Please don't use code words. Use plain and precise language. This will be communicated over the PA system immediately, and then the next steps will go from there. So everyone needs to be aware of what the next steps are so that we can go ahead and implement those. The next steps, lock down. If you or your students are in the immediate area of danger, you need to barricade in place. Account for all persons in your classroom. Lock and cover the windows and doors. Turn off lights and grab the safety folder. Push heavy furniture, desks, chairs, etc. in front of the doorway restricting easy access. Ask students to arm themselves with something heavy or sharp. Move students to a hiding area that is not visible by someone walking by. Remain calm and quiet until an all clear for administrator is given. So the entire point is this: schools between school hours are full of people, guaranteed, full of people Monday through Friday, 7 to 3, full of people, at least 1,000, maybe more than that. If a shooter wanted to get big attention, a school shooting would be the most vulnerable place to go. And so instead of allowing everyone to be sitting ducks and wait for more potential harm, if you can evacuate, you evacuate as soon as possible. For instance, if the communication under the alert was that the shooter is in the front lobby, then everyone around the front lobby needs to lock down. They need to follow step 2 and lock down, barricade doors, grab something sharp and hard and hide and be ready to counter if needed, if necessary, or if they feel comfortable, what have you. But don't make it easy for them to get after you or what have you if given the option. But everyone else in all other wings of the building, the 6th grade needs to evacuate, the 7th grade needs to evacuate, the 8th grade needs to evacuate. But if it happens in the lobby or in the rotunda, perhaps maybe not the arts and humanities hall, unless you were closer to like Mr. Munch's room and is real close to the door and it happened in the lobby. If you felt you could hurry up and get out, hurry up and get out. Reduce the number of people available for any casualties or what have you. The next is I, inform. If you are able to give any real-time and updated information to the office, please do so. Please do so and share that information if you are able to do so safely and discreetly or what have you. Counter, if the intruder gains access to your hiding place, be prepared to throw hard and sharp objects in their direction and rush him or her if you feel comfortable. Rush him, jump on him or what have you. Knock him or her off their game so that they're not prepared to, they're like, well, I wasn't expecting that. Good. Maybe you saved a life. Maybe you saved everyone's life. Who knows? But don't give them, again, not easy access. Use as much noise as possible to distract an intruder, screaming, waving arms, throwing objects, and even swarming the intruder if you feel comfortable. Evacuate. That's the biggest point of reducing the number of people that could be casualties. If your class is not in the immediate area of danger of the intruder, run as fast as you can to the nearest exit through non-traditional routes if necessary. Even if it means I've got to climb out this window, do so and get away. Meet at designated rally points away from the building. Account for the students The students that were in your care, wait for further instruction as it comes. Farnsley's rally point is Western High School. It is Western High School. Okay? Now, said a lot about the active shooter. Let's talk about the fire drill. How do you know it's a fire drill? Well, the ones that we'll plan, because they're going to be different segments of students that are going, we're going to have to verbally tell you that this is your fire drill. Because if at any time there is a fire drill, whether it is pooled or planned, you must evacuate the building. A loud pulsating siren will sound. Begin to exit the room by while grabbing the safety packet with the roster for attendance. Refer to the poster on the wall for exit near you. Exit the building. Lock and close the door behind you. Exit the building on level 5. Again, quiet and in an orderly fashion. Proceed to the designated location and line your class at least 100 feet from the building. The locations that we have already set are at least that far away. Go a little deeper if you're not sure. 100 feet from the building, okay? Any individual away from their classroom, hallway, emergency restroom, whatever, will be sent to the office by staff who are already checking the hallways, checking classrooms to make sure they're exited, and they will go directly to the bridge off Wildcat Lane. That is that one point that will house anyone that happens to be walking in the hallway or going to the restroom and get called up somewhere else other than their regular class. They go with the office staff to the bridge off Wildcat Lane. And we will use radio communication to say, well, I'm short this one person that's supposed to be in 7th grade. Oh, I have him here with me. We can account for him, and we're good to go. You need to account for every person who should be in your supervision. If someone is missing or in need of medical attention, please hold your thumb down. Somebody in the front of the line, hold that thumb down. Administrator will address the concern. If all are accounted for and no medical attention is needed, please hold your thumb up. So a quick scan of the area will let us know where our attention needs to go and where everything is fine and if we are all clear. When you do exit the building and file out into your area, file out in single file lines as far as 100 feet, yards away, really, and stay in that straight line. At that point, go ahead and account for the people in your class. And then the first person in line facing the building should throw that thumb up or throw that thumb down so that we can quickly scan and see if we are clear to go. Rescue and evacuation. Just information. Both stairwells are equipped with fire doors at the top and the bottom. The top and the bottom. In the event that a student cannot get down the stairs due to physical disabilities, temporary or permanent, doesn't matter. They are to remain at the top of the stairwell with the doors closed until emergency responders arrive. An adult should remain with the students until relieved by an administrator who will then be relieved by an emergency responder. Stairwell B is the primary rescue evacuation point for students not able to get down the stairs. Emergency responders know to go there first. The stairwell B, if we're not sure which one is stairwell B, it is the one just above the library slash the one not by the elevators, not by the elevators, okay? The ones by the library. Stairwell, if stairwell B is not accessible due to blockage from one way or the other, stairwell A is to be used as emergency responders. They will go up that stairwell as well if after they've done B, but they'll do B first. Earthquake drill. In the event of an earthquake, the building floor in a room will begin to shift and or shake. That is the only warning that you'll be given that an earthquake is happening. If it is a drill, then we will announce that this is our earthquake drill. Please do follow the procedures. Students and staff will seek shelter under a secure structure such as table, desk, or doorway until the situation is stable. Why would somebody stand in a doorway? Let's say they are on crutches or even in a wheelchair, and they cannot get under a table. Then they can be positioned in a doorway because the frame is a stable structure that will prevent anything from falling on them. If the building is determined to be unstable, we will then be given direction to evacuate through the same Fire drill exits and account for students. Tornado and severe weather. A PA announcement will go over if there is a warning, if a warning has been given to take cover for severe weather or possible tornado. The entire top floor, the gym, and the classrooms with windows, which is just about every classroom, must evacuate to a secure location. Follow the emergency safety plans posted near the door of each classroom. All classrooms will shelter on the first floor hallways, and second floor classrooms from 200 to 205 will position in place between stairwell A and LAN room, near the exit 7 exterior doors. Second floor classrooms 206 to 209 will position a place between stairwell B and the 7th grade hall by the media center in room 111. Second floor classrooms that are 210 to 213 will position in place between stairwell B and the 8th grade restrooms. If by any chance we are given a bomb threat, in the event of a bomb threat, the staff will be notified by administration. Do not inform the students. And do because the cell phone usage will start going rapid, and honestly, it may set off the device. Upon notice, teachers will take safety packet and a call with the class and begin to evacuate. Um, Students and staff will exit using some same route as the fire drill and proceed to the baseball field. Sixth grade assembles at the first base side, seventh grade goes to the third base side, and eighth grade goes to the center field. All persons need to be accounted for and use thumbs up, thumbs down to indicate all are accounted and assistance is or is not needed. Directions will be given as to how staff and students will be transported to Western High School, our rally point, and students will be released to parent and guardian by attendance rosters at designated area at Western High School. Okay, in closing, safety first. Safe schools is really up to us. We will practice these drills throughout the year, typically to ensure that we are ready to, in an unfortunate event of an emergency. Drills are essential to make sure that we are prepared for an emergency situation. The safety team will meet once a month to discuss the issues to ways to improve the drills. If you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to bring them to the attention of any member of the administration team. Thank you in advance for helping to keep Farnsley a safe place to learn and work. Thank you.